Hi, I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies. Today I want to talk about the MX-10 Limbs. So this is a 2-week review. I've been shooting them for 2 weeks. I want to just talk about the way I've been shooting them, how they felt. And I don't normally do a 2-week review, but I thought these limbs are very different. So the first thing when I started shooting them, I found them very unforgiving. So I would say I was shooting a lot more left and right variation. And that could be because the spine of the arrows is too light now. First thing I noticed was pulling back the bow was significantly harder with these limbs than the other limbs I was shooting. So first thing I noticed was my muscles hurt. So my arm muscles, the muscles in my forearm, here hurt, shoulders hurt, a lot of muscle pain. And now the limbs are only 2 pounds heavier than my other limbs. So that sort of raised a whole bunch of questions with me. So I did a bare shaft shot, and you'll see me hopefully shoot one of those here, and it shot to the right, so it indicated the spine of the arrows were weak. Now I was basically taking some supplements, some magnesium and stuff to ease the aches in my body. I'm trying to eat a bit more meat and protein and lots of vegetables and all that sort of stuff to help my body recover. But I've been shooting every day pretty much with these limbs. And since I've been shooting really well. So the improvement's been significant. I would say they're not shooting as tight a groups as the NSG limbs I was shooting before. But I would say they're shooting better. So I tend to be shooting mainly 10s and a few 9s at 18 meters. I don't know if I'll do that tonight because I've just moved indoors from outdoors because it's raining outside. So let's just hope these go in the middle. I haven't shot arrows, so this is like just purely out of the air. I built a target, and we're going to shoot and see how this goes. Now the first thing is to pull through the clicker is significantly easier with the MX-10 limbs than like your NSGs. The NSG builds more at the back end, so often in tournament situations with the normal recurve limbs, I would fatigue, and it was very hard to pull through the clicker, and I would get shakes, and that's when I'd get my erratic shots when I fatigued in tournaments. Shooting in the backyard at home, I didn't generally get those bad shots with the normal NSG limbs. With these limbs, I'm not finding it hard to pull through the clicker, but I'm finding a lot more work, and that's where I'm getting the extra speed from, because these limbs build up a lot more at the start of the poundage. So I'm like, is this in my head or not? So 2 of the archers in the shop both shoot recurve, so they both shoot 42 pounds, and they both got top of the line limbs. So I drew back their bows. I'm like, these are like so light. I can hold these all day. So clearly I've built up my muscles shooting these MX-10 limbs, and the groups have improved. I'm still getting a little bit of left and right variation. I don't know how much of that is the spine of the arrow. I'll show you how far out it is. It's not bad, but I really need to go up to the next spine. But I would say last night when I shot outdoors 18 meters, I didn't miss the gold, and I'm probably going to miss the gold a lot tonight because my arms are sore. We'll see. But so I kind of feel like it's easier to pull through the clicker, but it takes more work to shoot this bow. It's more like shooting a compound, if that makes any sense at all, because it builds at the start. But I tend to be shooting pretty well with it, so I feel like I want to stick with these limbs because I'm getting that extra speed, and I feel like my grouping is really good. So let's just see how this works out. So when I'm back here aiming, it doesn't feel as hard as your NSGs, but it's harder at the start. And that's where, because it was different muscles, it was really hurting a lot. I don't find the shoulders lifting as much with these limbs as like the NSG limbs. I don't know if that's because I'm stronger or what, but I haven't really had any of that. The first few days of shooting them, I could only shoot a few arrows because it literally hurt that much. no vibration. I feel like it's nice to shoot. Now I had another customer come in, and he's got these limbs as well, and he was saying, well, he can shoot really well, and then he'll shoot one arrow off to the left or the right, and he doesn't get that with the NSGs. And he goes, I feel like I shoot more consistently with the NSGs. And I'm like, well, how's your scores? And he goes, well, about the same. And I actually feel like I'm shooting better with these limbs. I haven't shot a score yet, but I feel like I'm shooting better. So I'd say at the start, for the first 3 to 4 days of shooting these limbs, I was clearly blaming the equipment because I'm like, I'm not shooting very well with these limbs. I'm not liking them. I want to go back to my old limbs. And I'm going to say that's probably fairly consistent with archers in general. They want to blame their equipment, and I'm like, I felt like I was shooting better. Like, I felt like I was shooting pretty good with the old limbs. And I'm not one of these archers who just posts good arrows when they shoot good arrows. I post my bad arrows because I'm like, I'm shooting terrible. I'm not shooting very well at all. And then gradually I'm like, oh, look, I'm starting to get better. I'm starting to get better. I started moving back in distance. So I started off close, like probably 12 meters, and then gradually worked my way back. I gradually worked my way back as I got more comfortable. But I feel like my body structure is pretty good with these limbs. I feel like it doesn't hurt my fingers as much as the NSGs. So with the NSGs, I felt like I had more finger pressure on the string. I'm not sure if that's because I shoot more arrows or what. But it doesn't feel as much. And probably that doesn't make any sense because it's higher poundage, but it's just what it feels. Actually, like, I don't know where these arrows are going. I've got a camera on the target down there, but they feel good. I'm like, thank God, because I'm filming it. Look, I'll shoot a couple more, and then we'll shoot the bear shaft and see how much it shoots to the left or right. Now, I have tried. This one's actually got a cracked knot. I'm shooting it. Shouldn't shoot a cracked knot, but I'm going to do it because I seem to be getting away with it. I have experimented with the plunger, moving the plunger in and out, left or right, to try and get that bear shaft into the grip. I really couldn't get it to move. I tried adjusting plunger tension, didn't have much luck. But I'll tell you what I did get. When I lined up the string with the bow riser, so if I lined my body straight, the arrows went bang, dead in the middle. And I never got that feeling with the NSG. The NSG, I'll just pull back and shoot. Where this bow, I feel my technique better, if that makes sense. My alignment better. It doesn't seem to put the same pressure on my body that the NSG does at the anchor point. It's more at the start. I can really feel it on my forearm. So when I can feel it, there, that was just a really bad shot because I was talking. So I can feel it a lot at the start, and then when I get back here, once my arm comes around and my back muscles take over, it's all fine. That one was just a bad shot because I didn't line up everything, so don't worry about that one. So as I was saying, everything's got to be lined up. See, the string's got to be lined up, my arm's got to be lined up, and then it just seems money. But I never got that from the NSGs or limbs I've shot before. Now I'll shoot the bear shaft. So this is the one with no veins. Now at home, this shoots on the right. Probably pretty much where that one was where I was explaining the draw cycle. But Actually, that felt like a good shot, so not sure where that went. Let's have a look. I got everything lined up and I'm like, this feels sweet, bang! And I feel like it went in the middle. Let's go and have a look. Well, here we are at the target, and obviously that's a really good group. Really, like, look, there's a couple of 8s out here. I'm happy with 8s. So what I normally shoot is about 270 indoors. So I'm averaging a gold is what I normally shoot. So for as many 10s as I shoot 8s. Okay, so 8s I do shoot, and I shoot for every 8 I shoot a 10 is the way I kind of shoot with recurve. But that's a really, really solid group. And this is what I've been shooting at home for the last about 5 days. I've been shooting groups like this. Don't worry about this one out to the side here. Now, the bear shaft is dead in the middle of the group, and it felt like a great shot. So, at home when I've been shooting the bear shaft, I've been shooting the bear shaft every end. Every end I shoot my whole quiver full of arrows. I have 2 targets, one beside the other, at the bulldog target, out the back. Every time I shoot, the bear shaft goes out to the right in the red. So I'm not sure if that means if I do a good shot, it's going to go straight. If it's more dependent on my technique and my form and all that sort of stuff. And look, I'm really happy with that group. So my summary, and I hate drowning over things. The MX-10 limbs are very different than any limb on the market. They build, and I'm going to say more like a Yucca limb, but the Yuccas are more extreme limbs. So this is like a cross between a normal limb and a Yucca limb. They build more at the start, so basically it's more work on your body, and it's going to hurt more if you're used to shooting recurve because it's at different points that you're feeling pressure on your body. So that took a while to adjust to. Once I got adjusted to it, it felt pretty good. I still kind of like the release on the NSGs. Because when I do a good release with the NSGs, it feels great, right? It feels great. But the problem is with them that when I fatigue, I get lots of wobbles and like in the nationals, which I shot 6-8 weeks ago, I probably shot a few blues, right? I shot 255, I think I shot 270, or maybe shot another 255, 260, and maybe a 270. Look, that's what I normally shoot. I normally shoot in nationals around 266, 270s. I might have shot 270, mid-270s once in the nationals with recurve. A 280 for me would be a really good nationals. Now, to me, that looks like about 285 sort of score, so I'm really happy with these limbs. I'm happy to stick with them. I suppose the thing with me, what I'm thinking in the back of my head with the MX-10 limbs, is because I'm back here and my finger tension doesn't feel as hard as the NSG, I can even go up more in pressure. So I could go to a 46 or a 48 pound limb. And then I'll be getting more pressure at the start here, which I've got to adjust to. And when I'm at the back, it's going to feel more like an NSG, so I'll probably get the best of both worlds with it. So I'll be able to shoot a higher poundage limb, get more speed, and be just as easy to get the shots off under pressure. Now, I haven't shot a tournament yet with the limbs because it's only been 2 weeks. But I have been aiming longer. Like there was a couple of shots there that took me longer to get off. And it wasn't bad. They were good shots. So MX-10 limbs overall, I think the finish is brilliant. The draw cycle's pretty hard. I've been getting mainly left to right movement on it with the NSGs. I generally throw them in the middle like 10s and I throw wild shots because I struggle. It's like, ugh, like just bad. I'm not doing that with this bow. They're a lot more consistent left and right. Sorry, up and down, a lot more consistent. They're more along a plane. So now through doing the plunger tuning, I got rid of a lot of the left or right. So I haven't had so much left and right since I've been doing the plunger tuning. And when I say I've been doing plunger tuning, look, I move it in or move it out a little bit and shoot groups and I go, they feel better. Like to me, that's nice and tight. I'm happy with that. And that's what I kind of do. I do the bear shaft tuning. You could do paper tuning. I haven't paper tuned this. But for me, I'm just shooting for groups. I'm like, they seem like they're coming out nice. There's no marks on the veins. There's no marks on the bow. And now I'm just trying to get that group to shoot tight. So anyway, I'm Stephen Ham from Archery Supplies. I hope that's been helpful. That's the Win MX-10 Limbs. Thanks for watching. Bye.